Thank you, everybody, for coming to the College Football Betting with Aaron Torres YouTube channel. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. It helps our channel grow. It helps our audience grow. I appreciate it more than you know, as we're talking college football on this channel year round. Appreciate your support. Click that subscribe button. And how about this? Who had Indiana hosting Nebraska as the biggest Big Ten game on the schedule this week? And oh, by the way, a game with playoff implications in Bloomington, Indiana. It sounds crazy. Indiana, a 6.5 point favorite coming in. The over-under set at 50.5. And listen, before we even preview this game, I know that fans of both fan bases are tired of hearing about the history and the first time since this and the first time since that. They're both just happy we have a good team that's winning games. But at the same time, let's take a moment to appreciate what both of these coaches have done. Curt Cignetti, year one at Indiana, has them 6-0 for the first time since the 1960s, okay? Nebraska with Matt Rule. Listen, we all know the history at Nebraska, but it's worth noting, this team has not made a bowl game since 2016, which seems completely like a made-up stat. So if Nebraska wins this game, they get bowl eligible. Matt Rule said at the beginning of the year, that was the goal. The goal wasn't to be 5-1 in the middle of October. The goal was to get bowl eligible. He talked about, I got kids on campus coming up saying I'm doing an extra year in post-grad because I want to have that opportunity to go to a bowl game. So there's a lot at stake. But the bigger picture, of course, is in this 12-team playoff era, one team is going to be primed and in great position going into the back half of the year to be in the playoff conversation. In terms of these two teams, especially if you have not watched Indiana, Indiana, listen, they take after their coach, Curt Cignetti, Coach Sig, great name, by the way. No nonsense, straightforward, just a great football coach. He said it at Big Ten Media Days. I win everywhere I go. Google me. Well, guess what? It is showing up on the field as Indiana is not only 6-0, they are really actually pretty good in essentially every phase of the game. Coming into this game, top 10 nationally in passing offense, also a top 35 rush offense, so plenty of balance on offense. The name to know, Curtis Rourke is their transfer quarterback, sixth-year guy, perfect fit for the program. 74% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Listen, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. He keeps playing like this. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that he's potentially in New York or at least in the running for a Heisman Trophy candidacy. 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 74% completion percentage. You get to 9-10 wins in Indiana, which is very much in the cards. You could be there if you keep winning. Worth noting, by the way, and I think sometimes this happens when you have a new head coach and he has success. Sometimes it's you get great offense or you get great defense or you get great whatever. Balanced team at Indiana. It's not just, as I said, the offense and the balance in the pass run game, but also defense as well, as Indiana comes into this game top 10 nationally in total defense. It sounds crazy, but they're getting the job done. They take care of the football. They don't turn it over a lot. Just a really, really, really good team. I know the critics will say, who have they played? But to be 6-0 with a first-year head coach, first-year quarterback, so many new players, I think it speaks to the incredible job that Coach Cignetti has done. Same time, Nebraska, fascinating team, fascinating program. And listen, Matt Rule's doing what he does, with when he takes over a job. We know about the history with Baylor, with Temple. Well, this year, this team is 5-1. They, like Indiana, are coming off of a bye. And there is so much enthusiasm. And really, I just give this team credit because they really do have an identity. No, all of the focus is on Dylan Raiola, the freshman quarterback. Everybody gets excited whenever you sign a 5-star. But this defense is across the board elite, top 15 nationally in total defense. The pass defense is taking care of business. Obviously, they face some pretty good pass offenses, including Colorado, but top 30 in pass offense. And then as far as the rush defense is concerned, top 10 nationally. I think where it gets a little concerning for Nebraska, the offense has been good enough, but not great, right? I think early in the season, we thought they were going to be a ball control, dominate both lines of scrimmage type team. We saw that against Colorado. Well, the run game has stalled out here over the last couple weeks. They are only 90th in the country in rushing offense. And Dylan Raiola, he's going to get there. And by no means has he been bad in any way, shape, or form. So Nebraska fans, please do not take it that way. But at the same time, this is a guy that the last couple weeks, they've taken a lot off Dylan Raiola's plate. And I think as Big Ten play has started, the defense has gotten better. Listen, he's struggling. It's okay. It's not a criticism of him as a player, but 13 to 27 passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception in that narrow win against Rutgers. 17 to 27 the game before, even in a win against Purdue. So the numbers have regressed a little bit, struggled a little bit against Illinois in that loss a few weeks ago. But for a true freshman, I mean, listen, he's still taking care of the football. And that, I think, for Nebraska is most important. We threw out the stats all fall long, all offseason long, but 31 turnovers a year ago, minus 17 in turnover margin. So just taking care of the football is a major step up for this team. But the point I'm trying to make, I don't think the offense is as potent as people would think because Dylan Raiola is on the roster. And so when I look at this game, I'll be transparent. I know it's not sexy to take all these unders, but that is my best bet in this game, the under of 50.5. Let me explain why. First of all, 2 top 15, top 20 defenses, right? But I think beyond that, when I look at this game, Nebraska, if they have their way, going to control the ball, going to run the ball, going to take time off the clock. They don't want to put too much on Dylan Raiola's plate, especially in a game that is going to be a hostile road environment. First sellout at Indiana in a long time. Tickets are going for like $125 a pop just to get in. Last year at this time, you probably could have gotten tickets essentially for free. Now they're $125 a pop. Okay. So the place is going to be crazy. I think Nebraska is going to try to control the ball, not to put too much on Dylan Raiola's plate. But I would also say this: Nebraska is the best defense by far that Indiana has seen all of this year. And so when I look at this matchup, Indiana at home, it's hard not to like them, but this is going to be a challenge. And this Indiana offense has moved the ball on everybody. But it is worth noting they have not seen any defense anywhere close to Nebraska. FIU, they played early in the year, 107th nationally in total defense. Charlotte, 117th nationally in total defense. UCLA, 68th nationally. Maryland, 71st nationally. Northwestern, 61st nationally as well. And so I bring it up because at the end of the day, they just have not faced a defense as good as Nebraska's. And because of it, I don't really feel comfortable taking either side. Nebraska on the road, offense has been struggling. Don't love them plus the points because they might just not be able to move the ball. But the counter to that is this is going to be the best defense Indiana has faced by a mile this year. I think this one has 24-21 written all over it, something like that. Give me the under. And like I said, whoever wins this game in a 12-team playoff era, they're going to be in the thick of it. By the way, neither is going to necessarily be eliminated with a loss, but Indiana 6-0, Nebraska 5-1. What a